this. It's been an eventful week for Gensler of the SEC. Gary Gensler looking at Binance, looking at Coinbase. Coinbase joined us here for Bloomberg Invest. And what I look back is to Ken Rogoff, who wrote an incredibly courageous book, The Curse of Cash. It was my book of the year. He had death threats off of it about the tension here of the criminality, the flows of money laundering, or however you want to call it, and crypto. You've been one of the loudest critics of Bitcoin. 69,000 whatever to 26,000. Is it on its way to death?
Okay, so I actually have been a critic of Bitcoin for reasons you won't like. My principal reason is, guess what? It's not even good for money laundering. So
I'm taking notes. Continue.
yeah, it is too traceable. You see, gold, you can remelt bars, you can do something, but Bitcoin is a book entry somewhere that anyone with basic knowledge of statistics can triangularize. So that's the first comment. The second one is that it was transformed into a cult. You cannot, I mean, the first time in history probably we're mixing money and cult. Usually you do cults with yoga, cults with something else, cult with music, but here is cult with a financial product. The things don't go together well, you see. So because finance has some gravity rules that eventually end up hurting that model. So crypto will probably, it's a fad. I mean, the claims they make that they're a refuge are false, that they're good for transaction is false. They're not even attracting the bad guys anymore. And you know that the Federal Reserve can very quickly replace these cryptos, and that's next step is actually next month. They're doing that
Right.
FAD now, immediate transmission. So basically, it's going to put that crypto out of business. If you think that crypto is there for transaction, or that transaction story, that the transaction narrative is no longer holding.
I look at crypto and I look at it being hugely generational, where older fossils are like, really? And the young, we're thinking tulips, and the younger are really, there's a serious belief in crypto, and Bloomberg, I think, has really done a committed effort to try to have a legitimate dialogue on this. What's the damage to the kids?
Okay, so let me tell you, when someone
line and sinker.
When someone says this is generational, and you're talking about music, it's fine, all right? If somebody says this is generational, are you talking about what? Finance. It means that you're glorifying ignorance. Okay, and you can't glorify ignorance with random events, with processes, where to the contrary, you got to glorify experience. So that cult of the youth that we have today, of course, is getting busted in finance, and soon the kids will no longer be interested in crypto. They'll be interested in some vegetarian diets or something else. Okay, because
gentle parenting. That's the new. That's the next thing. Chelsea, do you have that?